Hey, lad. I have to keep doing that because I can't turn the thing on. I have to look at it to press the button. Terrible, terrible design. I should really do it the other way around, but I think the quality of picture is better on this camera, so anyway, just to put up with that bit, I'm making a new video today, and today is, I don't even know what the date is, I don't even know, I think it's 25th of November. Right, just a quick one, it's always just a quick one, isn't it? Can't go over 15 minutes, otherwise I have to put my phone number in, and I don't want to put my phone number in, it's nothing to do with them. Right, that's just so that if you say something bad, or something that they don't like, you get the thought police come banging on your door. Anyway, right, a couple of things I'm going to talk about now. I'm going to talk about that spy in the UAE, United Arab Emirates, okay? And he's been sentenced to life imprisonment. And it'll go, no, he's not a spy, he was just an academic, and he was doing some research on the Arab Spring and what they've done since the Arab Spring. And all he was doing over there was researching to a depth their security. Do you know what I mean? And what caused the Arab Spring and what they did about it and what was going on and blah, 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 blah. But I'm telling you now, if there was a foreigner here and he was delving into our security, yeah, and that's what he was doing. He was looking at their security. If that's not spying, if you go to another country and start delving, oh, what are you doing about these things? What are you doing about that? Are you prepared for these? Are you prepared for this? What sort of, military have you got? What are the procedures, and where do you hold your meetings, and who's in charge, and all these things that he's been researching actually is very, very, important information for our military and that, and our secret services, because they need to know all this stuff, don't they? So they say, right? So he was a spy. Do you remember not so long back when they was asking for spies? They were saying, oh, we want spies that don't look like spies. We want spies like a school teacher or a nanny or just a normal housewife or just normal plain old people. Do you know what I mean? And so, by the very definition of saying somebody's a spy, if you're going to have somebody as a spy, you don't send them there in dark glasses and a funny hat and a briefcase and all that, and wires and microphones hanging off them and everything. Well, of course you're not going to do that, are you? You don't send a spy in that looks like a spy. Whoever's sent in a spy that looks like a spy, it don't work, does it? It don't work. So in my opinion, he was a spy. And same as that Radcliffe woman. She was also a spy. Yeah? She was going over there teaching how to become a journalist, how to report on things, yeah? Well, that's very, very, very much part of the state structure. If you can infiltrate the people that bring you the news and the information that you're allowed to have, then they can, doctor it slightly or whatever so it's more on our side or their side, or at least so we know their next step or what they're likely to produce or what they're likely to report. It's all spying. They're both spies, right? I'm not saying that they should do anything to this guy and shoot him or lock him up forever or blah, 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 blah. I personally think that you can't complain. We know we've got spies in this country. And America and all Europe, they all spy on each other. But then as soon as somebody starts spying on us, oh, that's terrible, it's terrible, you can't do that, blah, blah. but it's only doing the same as what you're doing. Don't expect them to have spies. If you don't have spies, what is the point of spies? Do you know what I mean? The point of spies is to find out what's going on in that country and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But it's absolutely none of your business, to be honest with you. It's none of your business. If you don't want people to come spying on you, you should go around spying on other people. Do you know what I mean? And they spy, they say, oh yeah, because they're a threat. Well, who is the threat? Is it the people of the country? You know, 99.9% of the people who live in that country, are they a threat? No, they're not. Normal Russian people living on a farm, working in a shop, you know, doing a normal job, doing a normal life, having normal children, doing the normal things. The last thing on their mind, yeah, is going to start a war or take industrial espionage from that country or whatever. That people are not interested in that whatsoever. The governments are, and the governments are run by secret societies and obviously the Secret Service, you know. So that was that. I wanted to just bring that across to say that he probably was a spy. Don't get feeling sorry for him. He probably knew what he was up to. He knew what he was doing. In fact, I'm quite glad. Maybe that might deter other people from joining along and becoming spies ourselves. In my opinion, there's no place for him on this planet. You know what I'm saying? None of your business what they're doing, as long as they're not hurting you or harming you, which they're not going to be, as long as the people get their way, because the people don't want to. Nobody in Russia wants to come and take my house, do they? They don't want to take my job, they don't want to take my house, yeah? They don't want to kill my children, do you know what I mean? They don't want to rape and pillage, you know, they don't. They haven't got time for that. They're busy working. They go home, they have their tea, they watch a bit of telly. Next day, if they've got a bit of time, they'll go and play a game of football, go for a swim, play it with the kids, go for a drink. You know what I mean? They're not in the slightest bit interested in spying or starting a war on other people in other countries. It's the politicians that do that. And the politicians, yeah, are owned by big companies and big business. Let's say like the pharmaceutical company or the military industrial complex that actually relies on the fact that we need a big bogeyman out there, an enemy, right? Otherwise, they'd all lose their money. We don't need to produce these nuclear weapons and submarines and warships and warplanes and bombs and missiles and bullets and guns and we don't need any of that stuff. I put it to you. You imagine, right? It's every penny that was spent, right, on military hardware, yeah? And the military themselves paying the personnel, right? Right. If you was to take that money, right, and instead of spending it on war, spend it on peace and prosperity, so people that automatically deserve, when you get to a certain age, we're given a property, somewhere you can live, call it your own home. Do you know what I'm saying? Everybody should be offered, yeah, and given, right, proper, meaningful work, stuff that they can do. Do you know what I mean? Stuff that they're not struggling and hate going to work every day, 12 hours here, 12 hours. No, give them something they can do. Every job is not hard if you put enough people on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's just say, for instance, when I used to work at Rover, right, they upped the job so much that it was running ragged, still couldn't do what you was doing, and I put it to you that I did my best on there, yeah, and nobody was going to do any better than me. I was 100 miles an hour. 100 miles an hour. I'm still falling behind. And it was ridiculous. The quality on the build was going down, and even though they took the staff off the job,